where they were being taken to. Some were eventually pulled off the planes after a federal judge blocked the administration from using the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport them. An appeals court will hear arguments Monday. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump is set to sign an executive order this afternoon to eliminate the Education Department. Josh Cowan is with the Education Law Center.
The Trump administration says they're just moving chairs around. They're getting rid of the Department of Ed. They're laying off all the staff, but all these important services and funds aren't necessarily going to be touched. We'll see.
To the Middle East now, where fighting has escalated between Israel and Hamas. There were deadly Israeli airstrikes in Gaza overnight. And the BBC's Yolan Nell reports Hamas has fired back.
Sirens warning of incoming rockets sent Israelis in Tel Aviv rushing to shelters this lunchtime. One missile was intercepted and no one was hurt. Hamas's armed wing said it was responding to the massacre of civilians in Gaza since Israel ended the 2-month-old ceasefire.
Powerful and destructive storms in the Midwest.
Hundreds of airline flights were canceled or delayed, and there's been extensive damage. The roof was ripped off a roller skating rink outside Indianapolis. Jerry Williams is the owner.
We're just standing in the office in there watching, and the next thing you know, sheets of plywood were shooting across the parking lot. So we just got on the microphone, told everybody we needed them to head to the bathroom.
The National Weather Service says more severe storms are expected Saturday from east Texas to southeastern Kentucky. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
A suspect has now been taken into custody following a shooting at a hospital this morning in Troy, Michigan. A man was shot twice in the arm. He's in stable condition. For those inside the hospital at the time,
it was, scary at the time. The workers did a great job to make sure some of the other cardiac patients were fine, but we didn't really know what to do.
He hid with others in the back room under a desk. TikTok will start pushing out Amber Alerts to users' For You feeds. It'll use your phone's IP address, and if an alert is issued in your area, you'll get it in real time. Facebook has been pushing Amber Alerts to users since 2016. Instagram's been doing it since 2022. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to great deals on tax prep, Jackson Hewitt isn't holding back, and neither is this commercial. Their offer is so big, it has to be said with Reverb. Expert tax prep for $149 or less. It's a deal so spectacular, it needs a symphony. Some explosions and a clock ticking, because this offer $149 or less ends soon. One expert tax prep for $149 or less. Try Jackson Hewitt today and save. Whew. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
a lot.
Talk Radio WGNS, putting the power of your free speech into action on air and online at wgnsradio.com.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state-shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in, too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Good morning. This is Bill Krause on the Thursday morning edition of the WGNS Radio Roundtable. Every Thursday, we always have, in my opinion, very interesting, very informative, and many times very entertaining speakers and programs. But this morning, I have to say, without question and without exception, I look forward to the visit of these two gentlemen. I have them come about every 3 months. They make my day more than just the fact that they're great entertainers. I'm speaking about Dr. Bob Fitzgerald, who is got a resume second to none, phenomenal Army career and very responsible, full-time instructor at Motlow State in the county. And he and his associate and friend, JJ, are in the guitar instruction business. And I want them in a little bit later to talk about guitar instruction, because if you haven't thought about it, or it was a long-time dream to play an instrument, these are the guys you want to see. So welcome, Fitz.
Thank you.
And welcome, JJ. And they're a couple of days late, but $1 ahead because of St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to have Irish music, but also sprinkled with some other favorites. So, Fitz, take it away.
All righty. Well, traditional Irish music, pretty much the kind of music that you hear in the Irish pubs and all, always has something to do with whiskey.
Can we make believe this is a pub?
Yes, we could certainly do that.
Okay, serve it up.
And this is probably one of the most popular, or maybe the most popular Irish pub song, the least that I'm aware of. Everybody will recognize it, I think, once we get going. As I was going over that far Kilkerry mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol and I then drew forth me rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for I am a bold deceiver. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar." Well, I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. She promised and she swore that she never would deceive me, but the devil's in the ladies, and they never can be easy. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, I went into my chamber for to take a slumber and dream of gold and silver, and for it was no wonder. But Jenny stole me charges, she loaded them with water, and then called Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, it was early in the morning, before I rose to travel, up came a band of footmen and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced me pistol, 'cause she'd stole away the rapier, but I couldn't shoot the water, and a prisoner I was taken. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, they put me into jail without a judge a writing for robbing Captain Farrell on that darn Kilkerry mountain. But they didn't take me fists, so I knocked the jailer down, and I bid a fond farewell to that jail in Salem town. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, if anyone can help me, it's my brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or near Killarney, together we'll go roaming through the mountains of Kilkenny, and he's bound to treat me better than my darling sportin' Jenny. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Mushery and a Durham da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
If that doesn't get you up on the morning, oh boy, I should probably start every Thursday morning off with music like that. You just, if you felt that you wanted to sleep in this morning or you weren't going on all 8 cylinders, you just made my day. I'm ready to roar. Next one we got?
Yeah, sure. Another good old Irish song.
Before you say, I'd like to at least introduce to our audience your lovely, lovely wife,
Yeah,
Terry.
the one that just, the photo.
Terry is taking pictures. Terry was a star student of mine in Mountlow several years ago. Brilliant young lady, and certainly the two of you make a wonderful couple.
Well, thank you. All right, well, another song. This one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, James Joyce might have written this. Was it James Joyce that wrote the
original author?
The original. Yeah. Not so much the song, but the name of the song is Finnegan's Wake.
Oh, okay.
And it's all about death and resurrection.
Ooh. And we were going to have such a brilliant morning.
Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentleman Irish mighty odd. He had a brogue so rich and sweet, and to rise in the world he carried a hod. But Tim had a bit of the tippling way. For the love of the liquor, poor Tim was born. And to help him on his way each day, he'd drop of the crather every morn. Whack, pull it out, oh, dance to your partner, well, the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim felt rather ill. His head felt heavy, which made him shake. He fell from the ladder and broke his skull, and they carried him home, his corpse to wake. They wrapped him up in a clean white sheet and laid him out upon the bed, with a barrel of whiskey at his feet and a bottle of porter at his head. Whack, pull it out, oh, dance to your partner, welt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Friends assembled at the wake, and Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. Lunch! First they brought in tea and cake, then pipes, tobacco, and whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a beautiful corpse have you ever seen? Oh, Timmy Warner, why did you die? Ah, hush your gob, says Paddy McGee. Whack, pull it down, oh, dance to your partner, welt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Then Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Biddy, says she, he'll rot, I'm sure. And Biddy gave her a belt and a gob and left her sprawling out on the floor. And soon the war did soon engage. 'Twas woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and a war and eruption soon began. Whack, pull it out, oh, dance to your partner, welt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Then Mickey McGuire ducked his head when a bottle of whiskey flew at him. It missed and landed on the bed, and the whiskey scatters all over Tim. God, he revives, see how he rises. Timothy rising from the bed, saying, whirling whiskey round like blazes. Solomon Deal, do you think I'm dead? What, pull it out, oh, dance to your partner, welt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Whack, pull it out, oh, dance to your partner, welt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake.
Very good. JJ, before we go on the next song, describe what you're playing. I don't recall that in the past. That's an amazing-looking instrument. It's just, well, too bad we're not on television, but at least describe it. It's intriguing.
Well, this is an Irish flat drum known as a bowron.
A who?
Bowron. It's B-O-H-R-A-N.
Gotcha.
And I've heard bowron and bowron, and or borin. And you have a little tipper is the stick that's got heads on both ends. Mm-hmm. And you have a bracket on the back in which to hold your hand. And this hand can make sound as well. And it can dampen the head. And you literally strike the tip against the skin, the goat skin that's been stretched across this rim, and make some music.
Fantastic. It's just an
Some
intriguing looking instrument, and I've never seen anything quite like it, and the sounds you're getting out of it are quite good.
Thank you.
All right, what do we got next, Fritz?
All righty, well, this is another one of those audience participation songs, so if you're back home or whatever listening on the radio, there's certain places where we clap our hands and things like that. This one's called The Wild Rover. Another, I think every European country has their version of this song. Same chords and same melody, different lyrics.
But
This
not
is
in the United
Irish
States.
version.
We don't have an American rover.
We're all wild, though.
I have been a wild rover for many's the year, and I spend all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went into an alehouse that I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I can have any day. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Then out of my pocket I pulled sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wines of the best. And the words that I said, sure, were only in jest. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I'll go back to my parents, confess what I done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they caress me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
I was hoping Terry would know how to Irish dance, because this music just wants to make you get up and do not just the Irish dance, just really be a toe tapper. Oh my gosh! We need
early
it
for the courage.
in the new studio. I've got to request a dance hall just because of this wonderful, wonderful music. I hope all of you are enjoying this as much as I am. It's just, even on a dreary day or a cold day or any day, to have music like this, it just brings life to its reality. What do you have now for us?
Well, first, I just kind of, if it's all right, I'd just kind of like to talk a little bit of history here.
Okay.
With history as in me and JJ. We were both stationed in Germany back in the 90s, late 90s, met at a little talent show on the military base, and we started a rock band. Rock and roll, electric guitars, bass, all that. And as it happens so often in rock and roll bands and music, we had some band dynamics that went on, and
we won't talk about it in detail.
Yeah, and we decided, you know what, let's split off from the rock and roll band and see what we can do. And in Germany, where we were stationed, lots of small places, to include Irish pubs, because we're right there in Europe. And so we decided that we would form a group that we called the Black Velvet Band.
Wow.
Which is
actually taken from a Irish song that we might do a little bit later, called the Black Velvet Band, but totally different meaning. And our first time we ever played or performed as the two of us was playing Irish music on St. Patrick's Day at the Irish pub.
Wow.
And so from there, we did that a lot, and then we kind of worked our way back into the acoustic kind of rock and roll kind of thing that we do now. But our origins as a duo playing music was playing Irish music on St. Paddy's Day at the Irish pub. So that's just a little...
So there's some real history to it. And you've stayed together all this time.
Well, yeah, he left Germany in like 2000, and then we hooked back up in 2006 when I retired, and he went to Arnold Air Force Base to be the commander down there, and
here you are.
The rest is history.
And you're teaching guitar?
I have some students. I no longer own the guitar store or guitar studio. No. It was time, and my main instructor, we had him on the show about a year or so ago, Jimmy. He is now runs the whole business, and I paid my last set of taxes and submitted everything to the Secretary of State of Tennessee. And I am.
You're no longer in the guitar business.
No longer doing that, but I do have a couple of students that I teach on my own. But and I'm always interested in helping young folks. But in terms of the Johnny Guitar Studio, it is no longer. It is a thing of the past.
Another era of Murfreesboro, no longer here.
That's right.
So, what do we now look forward to?
All right, another old Irish song. This one. Can't they Irish Rovers? I can't remember who recorded this.
Irish Rovers.
Oh, the Rovers.
I'm not sure, but a long time ago when the earth was green, there's more kinds of animals than you've ever seen. They ran around playing while the earth was being born, but the loveliest of all was the unicorn. But there was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats, some rats, some elephants, as sure as you're born. But the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Well, the Lord saw some sinning, it gave him pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm gonna make it rain." Hey, brother Noah, I tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo and bring some of them green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats, some rats, and elephants, as sure as you're born. And don't you forget my unicorn. Well, Noah was there to answer the call. He finished the ark just as the rain began to fall, brought in the animals 2 by 2, called out as they went through, "Hey Lord, I got some green alligators, your long-necked geese, your humpty-back camels and your chimpanzees, your cats, your rats, your elephants. My Lord, I'm so forlorn, I just can't find no unicorn." Noah looked out through the driving rain. The unicorns were laughing, playing silly games, kicking and a-splashing as the rain was pouring. Oh, them silly unicorns. But there was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, as sure as you're born. There just wasn't no unicorn. Well, the ark began to rise, it drifted with the tide. The unicorns looked out from the rocks and they cried. Rain came down and sort of floated them away. And that's why you don't see a unicorn to this very day. But you'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, as sure as you're born. But you're never gonna see no unicorn.
one of the most common songs for little kids. I think every small child, that's become part of their musical love. So I think many of our folks will be thinking back many years ago when they were small children and enjoyed the song. We're going to be right back after special words from WGNS.
Is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
Murfreesboro firefighters are going door to door to ensure that everyone is counted in the special census. Every resident means more funding for roads, schools, and emergency services, up to $3.5 million more each year. So don't wait. Fill out the mailer you received or visit murfreesborocensus.com. That's murfreesborocensus.com. Every name matters, including yours. Help us help Murfreesboro. Fill out your special census form today. murfreesborocensus.com.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
I've got pets. AmeriCare is Rutherford County's #1 choice in pest control, and it's simple to see why. After calling 893-7111, their staff came to my house 8 years ago when I had an insect problem. They looked at the situation, showed me the areas and what they'd recommend to resolve the problem. After treatment and with quarterly checks, I'm bug, critter, and creepy crawly free. Thanks, AmeriCare. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pest. AmeriCare, 893-7111.
WGNS welcomes everyone here for the Boys TSSAA Basketball Tournament. We hope you enjoy your stay and that you come back and visit again soon. The Red Cross is still critically low on blood. Please give the gift of life. Phone the Red Cross at 800-RED-CROSS and make an appointment to give blood at a time that fits your schedule. This Saturday, retired Riverdale High School teacher Beth Reiner invites you to come over to the Dapper Owl Coffee Pub and Bakery for her book signing. The book is Odd Job Annie. It's a modern cozy mystery, and it's a wonderful quick read. The book's about a 62-year-old retired teacher, Annie Cooper, and her impulsive move to quirky Mott Eagle, where she stumbles across a mystery. Don't miss Beth Reiner's book signing this Saturday from 11 until 1, and that's at the Dapper Owl Coffee Pub and Bakery at 2412 East Main, this Saturday. Don't forget the Rutherford County Library System is offering free computer classes. Free. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see a few spotty rain showers at times this afternoon with cloudy skies and temperatures holding rather steady. Tonight, we'll have decreasing cloud cover, a low near 28. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 43.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios, MTE Sharing Change has now donated more than $11 million to local nonprofits assisting worthy causes in our community. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back. Second segment of the WGNS Thursday morning edition of the Roundtable. And this is Bill Krause, your toe-tapping host this morning because of the toe-tapping music that we are thoroughly enjoying by Bob Fitzgerald and his friend, longtime associate, longtime fellow musician, JJ. And Fitz, what are we going to play now?
Well, I was putting some of these Irish tunes together, trying to figure out what to do, and I got up this morning and was all ready to come in, and my beautiful wife Terry decided that I needed to play a song and she was right, I believe. So this is everyone knows this one, but when you think about Irish songs, this one certainly comes to mind. And
you're going to dedicate this to Terry.
And I'm going to dedicate this to Terry. There we are. Sorry, I was in the wrong key.
They always say call a locksmith if you're in the wrong key.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are falling. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But if you come and all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I will hear the soft you tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be, for you will kneel and tell me that you love me, and I will sleep in peace until you come to me.
Great choice, great choice. Only one question.
Uh-oh.
Were you going to become a tenor for that? That's a tenor song.
It is.
You know, anybody who's a tenor, if they don't do a Danny Boy, wow, they haven't shown that their lungs could reach the top. But I know you already have your play, but I thought another very top song is When Irish Eyes
Yeah,
Are
but
Smiling.
we don't know that one.
Oh, we're not even going to do it off the top of it. I know. Well, at least we'll just say the title. No, we don't have to do that. So what do we have next to take the place?
Well, let's see. Let's try Black Velvet Band. I said earlier that when JJ and I first started playing into the Irish music, we call ourselves the Black Velvet Band.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we did that is because there's an old Irish song called the Black Velvet Band. Mm-hmm. Now, back in the days, the young girls of the evening used to wear their hair in a black velvet band to let the folks know what they were out walking the streets for, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
And so this song is about the Black Velvet Band, and watch out because you get yourself in trouble if you go messing with the Black Velvet Band. In a neat little town they call Belfast, an apprentice to trade I was bound, and many an hour's sweet happiness I did spend in that neat little town, till sudden misfortune came over me, caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, to follow the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. As I went walking down Broadway, not intended to stay very long, I spied a frolicsome damsel as she came tripping along. Now she was both fair and handsome, her neck it was white as a swan, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. On her bosom she wore a large notice advertising the program, and on her behind, for the good of the blind, was the same information in braille. A stolen watch she pulled from her pocket, she put it right into my hand. On the very first day that I met her, bad luck with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Before judge and jury next morning, the both of us had to appear. The judge said to me, young man, the case, it's proven quite clear. For 7 long years transportation, you're going to Van Diemen's Land, far away from your friends and relations, betrayed by the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellas, a warning you take from me. When you're out on the town, me lads, beware of them pretty colleens. They'll fill you with whiskey and porter until you're not able to stand, and the very next thing that you know is you've landed in Van Diemen's Land. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, yet swear she was queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band.
Very good. The toes tapping as usual. So great. Are you going to deviate a little bit away from Irish. This is post St. Patty's Day.
Yes.
And want to hear what you got. But I've got a homework assignment for the two of you. When you come back, and most hopefully this summer, we're set a date.
Yep.
I want you to establish a playlist that were your most favorite and most favorite of your audiences when you were still in Germany.
Okay.
And whether some of the songs create a certain memory. You played a song that somebody in the audience says, wow, I know that song, or what have you. So little tales with the playlist that were the best of JJ and Fitz.
That is the easiest assignment I've ever had.
Hope you give that to your students as well.
Great reminiscing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm probably going to shoot around summer, depending upon your schedules, of course. I hope everybody enjoys you as much as I do, because this is a highlight of my day.
Cool. Well, I'm glad. We certainly enjoy it.
I'm also probably going to ask you, you ever compose music?
I've written some songs. Haven't done it in a long, long time. They're all kind of 60s, 70s pop kind of stuff. But
well, I have an assignment, too, if you want to consider. If you want to consider, and I'll even have him here when you debut it, I want you to consider an official song for Motlow State.
An official song.
State. And we'll have Dr. Torrance here as
my God.
Officially present it to the wide, wide world of radio.
Okay.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, that's a little tougher assignment than the first one, but yeah.
But it's something
I enjoy a challenge. I'm not.
If you come up with the music, Terry could probably come up with the lyrics.
Oh yeah, being a student
JJ, are you a
herself.
good lyrics man?
I'm not sure about that. But
well, we can just throw that out for fun.
In a box of the fox, that kind of thing.
Wow, I'm a poet and I know it. All righty, what do we have now?
All right, well, we talked about the recent passing of Peter Yarrow, of Peter, Paul, and Mary, and I think Mary Travers passed away a while back too.
A few years, I think, actually, believe it or not, close to 10 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Would you believe?
And so we're gonna do one of the songs that they had on their very first album. This is one of those original protest kind of songs, written by Pete Seeger.
Oh yes.
And recorded by numerous people. And I want to put a shout out to my guitar student Tim, because Tim, he's our age, and this is one of his favorite songs and one of the first songs he wanted to learn. So. Everybody will recognize it, I think. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, every one. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? A long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? A long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Oh, that was beautiful. You know, it's kind I have to make a political statement. It's kind of interesting that in the 60s and early 70s, when protests, both civil rights protests and anti-Vietnam protests, people, at least those who are protesting in recent times, aren't happy, and they don't sing, they don't have good music. So, you know, despite the fact that that song may bring up memories that may be good and may not be so good, at least they were singing. We'll be right back after a special word from WGNS.
Is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Why Boot Barn for your business? Because nothing is more important than your workers' safety and your peace of mind. With a commercial account at Boot Barn, you get a customized program specific to your business. The largest assortment of work boots and workwear for every industry. The convenience of having a one-source nationwide supplier and nationwide customization. You need safety and compliance. We have your back. Commercial accounts at Boot Barn Work.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Do that too. Okay. We're going to save that for
Hi, we're just chatting to say, okay, what are we going to have in the next few minutes? Most hopefully you are thoroughly enjoying Bob and JJ, who are friends, colleagues, and equally important, wonderful, wonderful musicians. It just kind of makes you smile today. I leave from here and go to class, and I'm going to be the happiest teacher on the campus just because of the music. In fact, I was almost thinking, I don't know if I'll get away with it, I was almost thinking that the class is such an exceptional class at 11, I might just have them enjoy an hour of music direct from the Roundtable Thursday morning today. So we may have a replay. All right, now where are we going with this?
All right, we got another Irish song here. So typically, as Irish songs are all about whiskey.
No potatoes. Are there any potato songs?
I don't know of any potatoes.
Wow.
There's beer songs, but that's an English one, not an
I gotcha.
Irish one.
I'm a weaver, a Kelton weaver. I'm a rash and roving blade. I got silver in my pocket, and I follow the roving trade. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. As I walked out in Glasgow City, Nancy
Nancy whiskey I chanced to smell. I walked in, sat down beside her. For 7 long years I loved her well. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. The more I kissed her, the more I loved her. The more I kissed her, the more she smiled. Soon I forgot my mother's teaching. Nancy soon had me beguiled. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. As I rose early in the morning to slake my thirst, it was my need. I tried to rise, but I was not able. Nancy had me by the knees. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. So come all you weavers, you Kelton weavers. Come all you weavers, where'er you be. Beware of whiskey and Nancy whiskey. She'll ruin you like she ruined me. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh.
I hope people aren't thinking we're promoting whiskey this morning.
Well, you
Jack
know,
Daniels should have bought a spot on here.
Yeah.
We would have been all great.
When you're singing Irish music, you're singing about whiskey.
But there was one reference on a lyric in there, and I had to think about it, referring to Glasgow. That's in Scotland.
Well, that's true, and so there are a lot of
crossovers.
Yeah, the Irish pick up. That's typically an Irish groups that sing that song, but you're right, it is more about Scotch.
Maybe there's a few Irish people that got lost after a long night at the pub. Made the wrong turn on the interstate. Alrighty, what do we have coming up?
Well, I was thinking of closing it out with your song.
And that story, this song is, of course, without going into detail, is very, very special, very personal, but it is a song that brings back a pure memory of my father. I think everybody, and I like to think about this, everybody probably has a song that brings out a memory of a loved one who has left us. And this song is that loved one who has left us.
There's a storm across the valley, clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away, and the whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from riding on your prayers up in the sky, and 10 days on the road are barely gone. There's fire softly burning, supper on the stove, and the light in your eyes that keeps him warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. Well, there's all the news to tell him, just how'd you spend your time, and what's the latest thing the neighbors say. And your mother called last Friday, sunshine made her cry, and you felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. And all the time that I can lay this tired old body down and feel your fingers feather soft upon me. The kisses that I live for and the love that lights my way. The happiness that living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of, just spending time with you. The little things that make a house a home. Like a fire softly burning, supper on the stove, and the light in your eyes that keeps me warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Yes, it is. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's good to be back home again.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to take the liberty of making that as a personal dedication to also a gentleman who has been on our show so often, retired Colonel Bob Welsh. His wife passed away 48 hours ago, and this song is that perfect journey song as she makes her way to the land beyond heaven. So thank you very much. If you want to be strumming out as we wait to say goodbye this morning,
sure,
and wait for Brian to take the mic. So, again, thank you so much for that song. If people listen to the lyrics carefully, John Denver, you know, you can certainly recall that song, when somebody has passed, has some very special meaning.
A long time ago, way back in history, when all there was to drink was nothing but cups of tea, along came a man by the name of Charlie Mops. And he invented a wonderful drink, and he made it out of hops. He might have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. God bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A bushel of hops, a barrel of malt, and stir it around with a stick. It's just the lubrication to make your engine tick. So come along, me lucky lads, 11 o'clock she stops. And for 5 short seconds, remember Charlie Mops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He might have been an admiral, a sultan, or a king, and to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he has done for us, he's filled us up with cheer. God bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, 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 tiddly beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. And God bless Charlie Mops.
Again, very, very good. Can you now phase as Brian is entering the studio? You got a phase-out song that's...
We ended too soon.
No, you do so great that more of you is... Oh, well, here's Brian, but how about at least about a 30-second phase-out? Is that all right, Brian?
I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. I get a peaceful, easy feeling.
And thank you so much, JJ and Fitz, two gentlemen that bring joy to us. Just hope you didn't drink too much with that whiskey all morning long, but thoroughly enjoyed you, and we're looking forward to having you back this summer. Terry, thanks for coming along and being that very special support. And next week we have Dr. Trey Duke and his team from Murfreesboro City Schools. So Trey, who would love to be a DJ, I think, sometime, loves to be back with us. Have a wonderful, safe day. First day of spring, spring in action, spring in the joy, and be nice to all.
The city of Murfreesboro is growing, and we need your help to prove it by participating in the special census. Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
We want to get an accurate count of our residents compared to the last census. The more people that are counted,